and this is the real reason I'm alive, because I became a Christian when I was 15. I was raised atheist. My parents left the Catholic Church when they both were about 14 years of age, against the, better wishes of their families. And so I was raised atheist. In fact, I was told to hate God by my father, who thought all pedophiles all priests were pedophiles. So I believed in God for as long as I could remember, and I used to talk to my parents about God. And I think it's because what happens with these victims of abuse, children such as the ones underneath Holsworthy, who I was caged up with when I was 6 and made to bond with them, and then Colonel Chan murdered them all as a trauma incident to, get my mind control under check. These kids, when I was caged up with them, told me about the light man, and were sitting there because I was telling them about the world, and they'd never seen the grass, they'd never been outdoors. And the one thing that will upset me is those children, and that's the only time I'll get upset. Anyway, we've heard about these things. I was describing what it was like to go in water and in swimming in the ocean. We heard these. The light man told us this. I said, well, what light man? And the light man, and they described him. I said, oh yeah, I know him, Jesus. And so children in this situation, I want you to know that the one source of comfort they have is they're visited by angels and by Jesus Christ himself. And I've got to say that I've had Jesus Christ appear mid-ritual when I was 15, and everyone hit the deck. They're in their robes, and it was underneath one of the churches in the like the dungeon, where they always have an altar underneath the main altar upstairs. And everyone freaked out and were clawing through the ground. And later on, when I had to go before the Grand Council, talking about why I was leaving, not only did I mention Bathurst City Council, City Hall, what was done to me there, which was humiliating, and it was not what you're supposed to do once someone had become Grand Dame, and Rosalind Croucher planned that. Not only that, but I mentioned this incident that occurred around, I think it was not long after that, where Jesus, I'm sure it was Jesus, just this white light filled up in the room mid-ritual, and I legged it down the street. I left. I heard a voice saying, Fiona, do you choose to be in this? And I said, no, help me. And I ran, and that's the last ritual I ever attended. And I ran down the street fully robed, and I ran into a Christian's house. Now, I knew they were Christians because we called them lights. And we used to have meetings. I used to sit in on meetings where they would plan, how are we going to get rid of these lights? They're interfering with, with our work, because where there were genuine Christians who actually prayed, and you don't get many of them, the Luciferians couldn't work their magic. They couldn't, their curses, hex, spells had no power. Anyway, I ran straight into the lounge room of this couple's home, and they were watching telly, and I ran in and I just said, pray. I'm fully robed, and I said, just pray. And they did. And I got out after that. And when I had to go before the Grand Council after that, and give reasons as to why I was leaving, that's one of the things I quoted. I said, hey, you told me, first of all, you weren't supposed to treat me like that at the Bathurst City Hall. I said, the second thing is, you told me that your gods were all powerful, all knowing, all present, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, who's that dude that turned up? Who was that down there underneath the church? And they all went silent. They couldn't answer it. And I said, yeah, well, till you got an answer, I'm out of here, And those were my grounds for leaving. And forever, in the name of Jesus Christ, you have power over their source of power. Like people, if they want to know, do these spiritual entities that CERN, Hadron Collider are making contact with, and the whole reason for CERN, do they, if people question it, just, have they ever been to a seance that actually worked? Have they played with a Ouija board and had it work? Because this stuff works, and a lot of people know it works. They've dabbled in witchcraft, but there's a power greater than that. And I decided to embrace that source, which was Jesus Christ, the only Son of God. And that, I'm here.